During the week, ladies and gentlemen, one of our hard-working officials out here at the Speedway and the RDA, a man who's put in a lot of his spare time over many years to give positive support to the RDA and Speedway Park, passed away. He was Clive Rosenzweig. Clive attended the club rooms on Wednesday night as usual, but unfortunately died shortly after returning home. Clive has been records officer for this year and also has written the X-Ray Sir column in the program. We left this column in tonight's program as a mark of respect to a man who would always willingly do a job as most others did not want. To Lois and the other members of the family, I speak on behalf of all members of the Speedway fraternity when I pass on our dearest sympathy. Clive will live on in the hearts and minds of Speedway fans for years, and his deeds of unselfishness and commitment will be an example to all as to what Speedway racing is about. Ladies and gentlemen, I would ask you to stand for a minute's silence in Clive's memory. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So as the yellow flag comes around, or comes out, ready for the start of the Super Sedans Division 1, 12 laps on the Coca-Cola scoreboard.
Watch them as they come round, the yellow lights are flashing. And there goes the green flag. Reuter puts the foot down and he's away. He's left Caruso behind. Miller goes around the outside, firing Reuter right on his tailpipes, but Rocky Caruso coming back underneath Stephen Miller on that inside position, making Miller work a bit hard. Then there's Kim Cottrell, then 42 right behind them, looking for a run through on the inside. Car 42, Chris Bannon in the Coca-Cola car. Cottrell goes high and wide and clips the fence and sparks fly, a bit of bodywork flies off, but he's up and running. Also, Caruso has been relegated right back to around about 7th or 8th position. This leaves Reuter with 10 laps still remaining to take the front running. Stephen Miller right behind him. Then it's Blunden, then it's Hughes and the Pantera, then Peter Drew in car number 90, Caruso and 11, Stephen Stewart and Robbie Martin as Kim Cottrell pulls in with a very, very buckled back wheel. Back to the leaders now, another lap down, and still our leader is SA1, Gary Reuter. Stephen Miller, the Coca-Cola Fireball winner, right behind him. Reuter knows he's there. One mistake and he knows Miller will be through, and Miller will just be waiting for that gap light there right now. Reuter goes a bit wide. Miller comes up alongside together down the straight, but Reuter's just got a little bit much speed to get back into the corner. Cuts the corner but goes out wide. This brings Miller back underneath him, and Stephen Miller edges down the back straight but still can't get the power to edge in front of Reuter. Side by side, Miller squares the car up a little bit. They lose a little bit there. Allows Reuter to come through, still in the lead with Miller and Blunden right behind him.
Well, up in front there, it's certainly the number 1 car, which is the White Line Transport car of Gary Reuters. But Stephen Miller pokes his nose up alongside, doesn't quite get it into turn 3. And have a look at Blunden in the Coca-Cola car coming up there, right on the tail of the Blair Apple Auto Parts car. The front 3 cars well away from John Hughes. Peter Drew in 90. Caruso, after getting tangled early in the race, has dropped well back into the field for the action, right up at the front at the present moment. And Gary Reuter is around. Stephen Miller on the outside and Blunden on the inside as we get a yellow flag.
Well, what bad luck for Gary Reuter. I thought there for a while he's going to spin the car right around and keep going into that 3rd placing, but unfortunately Gary caused the race stoppage. He'll get the rough flag. He'll know what it means.
The field has now said so. That puts Stephen Miller in the front, Blunden and Hughes and Drew, the front 4 cars as they come round for the yellow.
Okay, yellow light flashing, the restart of it to the Super Sedan Division 1, and Stephen Miller leads them out. He'll know that he's got this one almost in the bag, but 6 laps anything could happen. Watch Reuter at the back there as he swings wide, does the fence rail act. Look how close he is to that fence, trying to make up room on the outside and widen his approach to the track and get more speed, but he's not getting it at the moment as the cars in front are holding him at bay. Meanwhile, in the lead, Stephen Miller's opened up a handy little lead in the number 6 car over Chris Blunden. Then John Hughes in the Pantera. Peter Drew moving up into 4th. Then it's Rocky Caruso, Stevie Stewart and Reuter looking for that run on the outside. Really got to work this time, Tony, to get up if he can.
Certainly not getting the drive high up to the fence, which he's looking for there as Stevie Stewart goes in field down. That allows, Caruso in allows Stevie Stewart through. But the race leader is the Blair Athol car number 6 of Stephen Miller, followed by the Coca-Cola car in 42 of Chris Blunden. Then the Scotcher Petroleum car of John Hughes into 3rd. Peter Drew back into 4th as we've got 2 laps as they come around this time on the scoreboard.
Okay, 2 laps down for Stephen Miller to hold the car together. One mistake and Blunden will be through. He's close enough to do that, although they've got a bit of a lead on John Hughes in the Pantera. He too, so likewise, has got quite a handy lead on Peter Drew at 90, but Stevie Stewart pressurising Peter Drew now. But the white flag out there for Stephen Miller. One more circuit of the track and he'll find the checkered flag next time he comes around. Down the back straight now. Blunden's almost given up. He knows he can't catch him, but Stephen Miller doing it really well, coming around now for the checkered flag to take the Super Sedan Division 1 Heat 1. Chris Blunden in for 2nd, John Hughes in the Moyle Pantera 3rd, then Peter Drew, then Steve Stewart, then Gary Reuter, and then car number 11, Rocky Caruso.
For the women for Wheels Fire and Rescue, and has put a lot into the Speedway sport, not only the Speedway motorsport, but all sorts of motorsports, but particularly Speedway. Okay,
so Dave Barnett along with Trevor Hammer to lead them in as they come around now. The yellow lights flashing for event 3, the Super Sedans Division 2 Heat 1. There's the green flag and the way. And Don Hammer gets the jump that time in the Blair Athol Auto car number 4, and look at him go out front there. How long can he hold it as car number 60 and Dave Barnett is right behind in position 2, but Hammer opening up a handy lead as car number 8 coming around the outside in Bob Fulton, looking for a run through on car number 60 and Dave Barnett, and looks like he just might get it, but Bob, you've gone up too high. Watch out as Billy Miller in car 77 shoots down the outside, down the back straight into 3rd place. He's 3 wide as Max Thompson goes on the outside. Harvey Wallbanger in 20 was there, but Donga Hammer seems to be saying, well, this one's mine, boys. You've got to catch me. So away you go, Donga, and they certainly do have to catch you. Car number 8, Bob Fulton, who won the consolation, the Victorian title, in the John Pine car, doing it well. Billy Miller in his brand new car of about 5 weeks now, out to catch him and run a placing 2, because that car can really move once Bill gets it completely sorted out. Still obviously got a few problems. Back to Dave Barnett, then Trevor Harvey Wallbanger, I forget his name, I call him Harvey so long. Joan Miller, 88 is Robbie Stevens. Position as these cars open up a very handy lead, but 7 laps to go and it's still Donga Hammer in the lead.
Well, still Hammer in the Blair Athol car, then it would be Bob Fulton in the number 8 car, the beautifully turned out car. But Billy Miller's giving him a bit of a hard time there in the 77 car, and while all this is happening, we've got the 19 car.
Donga's done it. Must be something about these sedans. Put them in front.
Oh, and Fulton also has gone, so that's put Billy Miller into the lead as Fulton looks for a run back. Max Thompson moves around very quickly on the outside. Fulton quick to recover, drops back and has a run there with the 19 car. Sorry, the 94 car, Max Thompson. Thompson just managing to hold down as we have 5 laps with the Blair Athol car. Billy Miller back to 94, which is Max Thompson. Back then to car 8, which is the car of Bob Fulton's there. And Trevor Hammer in number 4, tacked right on his tail, looks for a run up on the inside of him. John Scotcher giving himself out of trouble in the Moyle car going through there.
Well, as they go around still with 4 to go, Donga Hammer is trying like goodness me to catch up. into that placing, but Billy Miller and the other pink car has really got away now. Max Thompson will be going to catch him in 4 laps. Don't put the mockers on Billy now because he's out in front in car 77. Then 94, Max Thompson. Bob Fulton, car number 8, pressurising Thompson a bit. One mistake by Thompson and Fulton will be through. While those two battle it out, Donner Hammer's right behind them, looking for a way. Further back, another pink car and Joan Miller, then Neil wins. Oh, now we have a spin up the top, and it's Max Thompson's that spun the car. Bob Fulton gets around the outside, Donner up on the inside out there. But watching them now, there's the green flag for the restart, and Billy Miller will lead them out in the pink car. He'll have to be ever so careful and drive to perfection because Bob Fulton now caught up right behind him. But as I talk, Billy plants the foot down the back straight and opens up a 2-car length on Bob. Coming around there, you'll see the Coca-Cola scoreboard change to 2, so Billy might have it all his own way. Then another pink car of Donner Hammer and yet another pink car of Joan Miller. That's the way they roll up as they go down the back straight. Cars opening up quite handy little lead over each other, and the white flag out now for Billy Miller in car number 77. Bob Fulton 8, Donner Hammer 4, Joan Miller 7. Neil Windsor hopping through there on car number 60, Dave Barnett. Can he hold that position? Because Barnett's in 60 with a bigger and powerful car than Lachlan Jeffries. But here's a checkered flag and a good one to Billy Miller. Nice steady race. Bob Fulton in car number 8 will be second, and Donner Hammer, who led the race for half distance until he spun, would have got himself in for 3rd placing. Then Joan Miller, Neil Windsor.
Oh, let's get it right. What's state of mind today? Oh, yeah, I know. Okay, we have got Kenfield up on the board, 8 to go for the first heat of the Tucker Marathon for 90. And outside of him it is Graham Mason into turn number 1. And off the second turn, Mason, our leader. Bill running second place, coming through the field. Dave Farrell, there are 2 coming together. And on the infield in the back straightaway, Chaz Calandro, the double 3 car, as the race continues. Challenge on for second place. Hello, what are we doing? Reds and yellows.
Yeah, Chaz has come in, also sitting on the back row. So there's a big onus on these front runners to get out and mobile early in the piece. And here goes the flag dropping now, giving Mason the jump. Once again, Tommy Thompson sticking to a very inside line, a little bit too inside there, as Farrell in 16 breezed apart, looking for that nice easy spot, stringing themselves out quite well at the moment. But a thing to do at the moment would be to look at these back markers to see how we can come through. Johnny Moyle is up 3 places already. Chaz Calandro is sitting back there in his second to last. But this will be something to see as Jaymie Moyle works his way through the field with the checker as he caught up there saying at the moment 6 to go. 6 to go, but Mason in front is stretching out his lead very well. Farrell gone a little bit wide down there in turn 2, allowing a pass there by Hodgson. And gone too far again, and this time being collected by a double triple spin as car 10 of Tommy Tomlinson was unable to avoid the car which had already started to spin, car 16 of Dave Farrell. But now, yes, I agree with you.
Under starters' orders as they come around now, we have No Star. Naughty.
We had a spin by Hodgson down there before they actually got themselves underway.
In fact, it's Jaymie Cobby.
Sorry, this Cobby too.
Yes, of course, we're getting confused by all these red and white cars. Jaymie Cobby, and don't be mistaken, don't be misled. We have 2 Celtic sponsored cars out there tonight. Wayne Buck and Tyros.
With a good family background. Definitely very
national
strong.
Champions in the blood. Here we go, on 6 to go on Tucker Marathon. Heat number 1, Coca-Cola scoreboard tells us there is 6 circulations of Speedway Park as the leader is still Graham Mason, and he's going for it. In trouble, Rex Hodgson slipping behind the field. The Cleveland Freightliner's car having some sort of a hassle. Tries to get it down to the metal again and get some rotation. But while we've been talking, car number 69, the state champion Jaymie Moyle up into second place. Veal in third. Behind that's Calandro, and Veal nearly turns it around, just saves it, takes it very gingerly over the infield and rejoins the fray back in 5th spot. We've got the leader into turn number 3, car 7, Graham Mason. But have a look at Jaymie Moyle. He's coming on like the gangbusters at the moment. They go into turn number 1. The second turn, Mason gets it down low. He knows he's got some screaming big Chevrolet coming right up behind him. A big dive by the state champion to turn 3. They come on 4, but it's still the Lawson Stock Agents car number 7 of Graham Mason that holds the lead as he goes out the second turn.
Have a look at the legs too down the back straight. Mason's car is pretty strong, pulling away very well. But in the corners, making up a fair bit of ground, Jaymie Moyle. and of course following in his father's footsteps is Daddy John. But has he ever learnt the trade? Coming up now looking for an outside, perhaps an inside pass. He's about to try an inside run. It's his last chance to do so, but no, Mason holds him off, just holds him off across the line as car 7 comes over to take the checkered flag.
The second back row, we'll get it right in a minute.
Back row of teeth.
That's the one, excuse me, testing 1, 2, 3. Beside him, Bill Barrows, he's running off the third row. This is Heat 2 of the Tucker Marathon, and they have no start because they were all naughty on turn number 4. I saw it. Did you see it, Michael?
I certainly did. Also, I could notice a fair bit of smoke came from car 11, Snowy White's vehicle.
Oh, no. He's running off the third position, Ian Lewis in the car number 95, the Adplex entry from Victoria. But watch row number 3, and we've got Phil March and also Bill Barrows. And Bunker running off the back. We've got a race start this time in Heat 2 of the Tucker Marathon for 90, and into the lead was Lewis. He's jumped right out of this, but have a look at March quickly up into the third spot as they go down the third turn. Barrows
looking for an inside run and finding it inside of Darryl Downing. It's going to take him a little bit to get actually past there. He doesn't seem to be able to hold it straight into the corners, but he's certainly giving it a fair belt. But up there in third posse at the moment is March. Now he's going out for the drive line. We'll see half between the hops, and we've had a spin at the back. A spin at the back, which is Gil Cameron sitting backwards, which is going to mean a restart, showing 6 laps to go.
We have caution on the Speedway with Gil Cameron bringing it 95. Ian Lewis, Bill Porter running in second place. The big charger so far in the event. Car number 3 in third place, Phil March, but don't discount car 6 or 27 as they go green for go, and they're into the first turn. And we've had a wheel banging up the back as they try and sort it out, but Phil March quickly into second place. And now he sets sail after the Victorian Ian Lewis. Round the fourth turn, the leader come the Adplex entry is our leader as he goes back into the first turn. But March is hot to trot in second place in car number 3. Porter still in third. Barrows now up into fourth place. Just gets underneath Downing, and Bunker's trying to follow 3.
A little bit of wheel lifting too there by the March car, you might notice, particularly here in lane 2. No, he gets down that time. I think he's able to use the track to his preference. If you have a look there, he's getting right on the drive line, really. He's half on the shiny bits and half on the rough bits, the best place, the quickest place to be. But, of course, he's looking for a little breakthrough. Barrows also looking for a breakthrough towards the back of the field underneath Porter. But Porter, who's had quite a few seasons now, is no slouch, and he's not going to let him have the chance to do it very easily as we show 3 to go only. There's a fair old gap back between our second and third, but back there in that third spot is where the race is going on between this pair, as once again Billy Wheelbarrows looks for an opening, but that gap closes up on him again by Porter. Meantime, Lewis sitting pretty out in front with March throwing everything at him to try and catch up. Nearly had another lose by Cameron in the background.
White flag being prepared here with one lap to go, and Lewis takes that flag into turn number 1. It's now or never for March as the drag race still goes on for third place. At the moment, it is Bill Barrows by half a nose. Porter coming back. It's a boomer, but it's checkered flag time in Heat 2. The Victorian wins it. Ian Lewis, car 95. Phil March through into second place in the number 3 car. Barrows up there into third place. Bunker for fourth, followed by Bill Porter. And then the smoking Darryl Downing. Gil Cameron just chucking in on about 5 cylinders through to bring up rear of the field, and a DNF to the 11 car.
And
You're having a drinking party there, Mel. This time we got the green flag, and Mara's going for the outside run. He's looking for an early start and about to stay up there. 10 laps, a fair old time, and that's going to give him a fair bit of a run. Looking down towards the back of the field, car number 111 of Chris Lum there. Now he's going for an inside run as, whoops, at Daisy. Didn't get very far. But
okay,
looking for the outside run is 159.
248 Maris Watts in the lead from 278 Martin Golding. These two are the ones that setting the pace. The next two back is 157, is it? 151, is it? Ian O'Daniel coming through, or tried to come through. 111, Chris Lum is right in the thick of it there, but Maris Watts Hamburger the Lots has got it on his own at this stage. 278 right behind him, Martin Golding. Then 142. 142, I missed that one, Mike. 142, can you pick that one up for me as...
Jim Kelly, he was the late addition. Jim Kelly
It is, as the rear fielder over there causes a minor problem, or has he got the minor problem himself? However, this allows Barrows for Lots to get away to a really handy lead now. Nobody pressurising him, nobody pushing him, leaving him for the rest of the field to battle those positions out. Ben Skewson 300 at the moment is tailing Charlie, but not for long, and they'll have to get a move on because Barrows for Lots is not that far behind them now, still with 6 laps on the Coca-Cola scoreboard. 278 is in second placing, and that's...
And we have a fence job down here as the car, is it 159, I think?
I think it's
159, yes, who has scruffed the front end fairly well, Malcolm Goodfellow.
Goodfellow started off with 2, and if I remember rightly, that's not the second week he's done that. Certainly got the bonnet sitting up a little bit, showing a little bit of indiscretion there. And 127, Peter Moyle, taking it, pardon me, ever so easily around the far side there. But cars seem to slow down in several places there. But watch our leader as he comes around, still with 4 laps to go on the Coca-Cola scoreboard. It's Barrows for Lots.
I think Barrows would prefer really to have a bit of a pack race, wouldn't he? He does prefer to be in there and mixing it. But while he has the chance now, this is an opportunity for him to stretch the legs on this vehicle.
I don't know if he likes to mix it or whether others like to mix it with him.
Well, that's probably it.
Quite often he comes in and he's... You couldn't say that he's a happy fellow, but a great competitor though is Barrows for Lots, and what a great guy.
Yeah, he's a good club fan as well. Seeing that valley note there, 127 of Peter Moyle, still circulating very slowly. Must be looking for a number of points or something to keep himself mobile.
His first race as well. But the cars back in 2nd, 3rd and 4th are having their own private duel. That's 142 is Kelly.
Jim Kelly, yes.
Kelly, he's running 2nd at the moment with 111, Chris Lum.
The battle of the yellows back in there, isn't it? Yellow and black, yellow and red, yellow and black.
Moyle. He'll be wondering what's going on. That's the 3rd time I think they've gone past him.
They're starting to wave now.
Watch our leader as he's almost a half a lap ahead, getting the white flag, signifying 1 to go. And I think that he might have just dropped back a gear there to take things a little easier. However, the battle still rages for the 2nd, 3rd and 4th as they nose to tail each other around the track. They've only got a half a lap to sort themselves out because the checkered flag is coming out now, and Barrows for Lots in car number 248 will take the checkered flag as he runs up to the back of Ben Skews. Coming around now for that 2nd position will be car 142, Jim Kelly, and 3rd, 278, Martin Golding. 278, Martin Golding.
175. Pretty hard.
The start of event 7, the street stocks, heat 2, over 10 laps. Coming up to the start, and now the yellow lights flashing, and there you go the greens as we talk, and they're away. Watch them as they jockey for positions. Rick Skewson 300 darts from the outside right across the inside, goes a bit high. This could allow 240 to come back in, and he's quickly got himself into the lead. So Rick Skewson going a little high there, 154. Leanne Weller still holding down 3rd place. He was being hotly pursued by 147 in Brian Donegan. Brian Donegan had a good run here over the last few weeks, and he's got himself right up to 3rd, starting to pressurise Rick Skewson. But as I say that, he puts the car sideways, gets a straightener upper, shall we call it, from car 163, who is Kim Cottrell.
Yes, Kim Cottrell. I thought he might be one to watch.
Nowhere to go. 191's pulled infield, along with the 147, who was Brian Donegan, who sort of lost the car a bit there. 163.
Cottrell's limping in. Obviously, the car didn't come out too well from that fairly heavy bank.
So where's our race leader? Car 240 it is Paul Keane, and doing it well, being ever so careful on the track. He has to be careful because he knows Rick Skewson is not that far away from him, only 2 or 3 lengths. Puts the car a little sideways or a bit high, and he's in big trouble, I can tell you. Limping around, it seems almost back further, is 154. That should be Leanne Weller running in 3rd placing. And then only 3 cars left. A long way back, I might add, too. Well over half a lap as they come around now for their position.
Yes, that car of Leanne's, she was a bit lucky down there in turn 2 earlier on. Came in between half a dozen cars, came out unscathed. But the Datsun there, 240, not 24 hours, is Paul Keane, and followed by Scouse. I said before, the car has been warmed up nicely from racing in the previous heat there,
Yes,
Mount.
I guess you could say that, but he's losing ground to Paul Keane now as they come around. The blue flag being showed to the rear of field cars, and the Hackam Jap Wreckers car, 240, Paul Keane goes through. About 3 car lengths back is Rick Scouse in 300, ex-state title holder, and that street stock title is on, I think, this Saturday or next Saturday up in the Riverland, the state title, so that'll be a good event up there. Still the blue flag being showed to the black car of 130 as our leader car 240 goes through, and Paul Keane. Rick Scouse is right there, but he seems to be losing even more ground as the laps go on, Mike, and Leanne Weller herself also is dropping right back now.
I think she's tiring perhaps. There are 4 laps to go as you stay there now, and it's a mix in with the front and also the back markers. This is giving a chance though for Scouse to try and catch up by waiting to keep the rest of them all blocked off basically.
Don't think he's going to do it. He just seems to be slowing right down, and look at the distance now to Paul Keane is almost the length of the straight. Again, the blue flag being showed to rear fielders to be aware, hold your line, you're about to be passed by a faster car.
Unusual to see that very pinkish car, the 175. Perhaps they've been down to visit the Millers to borrow a bit of pink paint.
Why would you ever paint your car pink? That's a funny colour to paint it. However, the white flag coming out now for 240 Paul Keane in car number 240 as he comes through. That's the Datsun. Running in second place through now in the grey car. The Valiant 300 is Rick Scouse in second. And in third, 154, Leanne Weller for Sky Road Express just going through now.
And car 203, John Flynn is just staying respectfully out of the way at the moment. He's a lap or more down. Car going all over the shop. To car 240, driven by Paul Keane. And a welcome little run from him, that's for sure. And Scouse there.
Yeah, next week for the Speedcar title night. But cars moving around well now for event 10, the Super Sedans Division 1 Heat 2. Here they come. There's the green flag. Stewart and Drew side by side. Stewart gets the corner. Drew cuts the car across and tries to come underneath him. Finds Chris Blunden there. Can't do too much. Oh, Blunden narrowly misses the back of Drewy. Shoots around the outside. Can't find a way through there. Have to sit back and wait. Stephen Miller's right behind him, but Stewart leading for the first lap around. Then Drew. Then Blunden again looking for a way through. Can't find it, then Miller, then Caruso, then Reuter moving up from the rear of field, then Robbie Martin at 87 and John Hughes at the moment bringing up rear of the field.
I must say I'm quite surprised there by car 90 of Drew doing an excellent job there holding in the second place, and car 42 Chris Blunden throwing everything at him. It was just here when he did it the last couple of times. He hasn't tried now. Realised over a 12-lap event it's perhaps wise to try it somewhere else. Chris Blunden making a return to the tip top and doing it with a fair sort of vengeance. But many times state champion sitting out there the front, Stevie Stewart in the black car, 47.
That's the main thing. There he goes now. Look, get his nose in the inside, but Drew came back on him again. He had to button off, and one mistake by either of these guys, and the next one will be through, and so too was Stephen Miller in the Blair Athol number 6 car. One mistake, and Miller will be through like Flint. You watch. Then behind him is Rocky Caruso trying to hang on. Gary Reuter a fair way back. John Hughes now relegates himself off the tail end Charlie, but Peter Drew having a go at Stephen Stewart, and Stewart's in trouble as he pulls to the outside. Bad luck, Stevie Stewart. Almost looks like you've got a flat tyre or you've got a steering problem. As he has a problem, so too with a steering problem, Peter Drew, as he goes a little infield, allows Stephen Miller to get around the outside. And like I said, one mistake, Mike, and the next car is through. But in the front now, car number 12 for Coca-Cola, Chris Blunden. Down the back straight they go. Watch them as they come round. Blunden, then Miller, then Drew, then Caruso, then Reuter, and then Hughes. So only 6 cars left, having 2 cars pulled infield there. Bad luck for Stevie Stewart and for Robbie Marchant.
Maybe it was a bit of calculation there by Blunden to be sitting back and let them do what was going to happen to those cars, as he takes not a very comfortable lead, but still nevertheless a lead. 4 now, 3 laps, no, still 4 laps to go. And using up a fair bit of the track as Miller puts the boot in to try and catch him up. Now Peter Drew does so as well, but back there looking to pass around Caruso. Now comes our new champion in Reuter, but each time he does so it washes off, just washes off speed, and he drops back another 2 posies instead of holding himself forward.
Well, John Hughes is right there in the Pantera, so Reuter won't want to make a mistake because Hughes is snapping at his heels now, as you can see, but meanwhile still with 2 laps on the Coca-Cola scoreboard. Blunden driving a ever so good race. Miller right behind him, and then Drew with the 3 cars really going flat out. They've opened up a 10-car gap over the next 3 in Rocky Caruso, Gary Reuter and John Hughes. Coming around now for the white flag. 1 to go for Chris Blunden. Can he do it in the Coca-Cola car? Watch him go. Stephen Miller right up his tailpipes in the Blair Athol number 6 car. They've opened up a bit of a gap now on Peter Drew number 90. Drew, he knows that he's going to have to sit there, play it safe, take 3rd placing, but Blunden really being pressurised and takes the 1st placing real well. Good drive there to Chris Blunden. Stephen Miller in for 2nd placing, Peter Drew for 3rd, and it would have been Rocky Caruso in for 4th place.
Yes, he's an old man, he's what, 21. Here we go, ready to drop the green flag, and we're away as the other Jaymie car, 69, Jaymie Moyle, begs out. Oh, down in 2nd posse was Taz Calandro, heading for the fence, saved himself by tucking himself inside out to drop back into 3rd place. Another car slowing back towards the back of the field, and one spinning at the back was Victoria 90, who is now blocked off the field, and that will cause a restart. Also, car 28 is all over the shop, and he is pulled up down at the other end at turn 2.
Some sort of problem for the 28 car. Jamie Cobby, the driver, sponsored by Keldex, down on the 1-2.
His footage is always very well worth seeing, and he got some excellent footage which had been shown all around the countryside on news programs of the fire that we had here, which was safely brought under control. Congratulations to Women for Wheels, quickly on the spot. Trevor Nucky's car number 10 last week as it split a tank, and the fire destroyed a fair bit of the car, but they did manage to rescue the driver and bits of the car. Anyway, good work, and that television footage was used straight away. That comes from Panda, so worth mentioning.
Okay. Complete restart. Rows of 2 with Jaymie Moyle leading him around. Heat number 3 of the Tucker Marathon goes into the 1st turn with the state champion in the lead, doing it nicely, pulling away from Chaz Calandro in the 2nd place. Up into 3rd place, Rex Hodson to Tomlinson into 4th, really cranking it up. As they come past the judge for the 1st time, those positions are unchanged around the 1-2 turn. The Miners, Mason starting to move up the back row. He's got around Ferrell as the leader has opened up about a 10-car length lead. It's Jaymie Moyle, Chaz Calandro, 3rd place, Hodson, Tomlinson. Behind that is Mason Ferrell, and up the rear is Beale. As they go into turn number 3, it's by how far? Let's grab a stopwatch and see how quick he's going.
Yes, check it by time, because the Ferrell distance is about an 1/8 of the track at the moment. And looking back there to see Chaz Calandro. Chaz Calandro still holding back in 2nd place, the rough spots that he was looking at before. The car sees it settle itself down now. 4 laps to go. Jaymie Moyle looking great. Family be down there jumping up and down with pleasure to be watching this. And Chaz Calandro looking for a big challenge. Now Dave Ferrell way down towards the back, but Mason, we are watching, was coming up fairly well to catch the leaders, but is still now back in behind Tommy Tomlinson. Tommy Tomlinson holding it well. Catching up at the moment, down the back straight is Tommy Tomlinson, looking in behind the Hodson car. A momentary spin on turn 4, followed by another 2 momentary spins, and a save by Tommy Tomlinson. Didn't take the boot off it and kept on going. And how did that time go?
13.60 for Jaymie Moyle on his last lap. 1 remaining for as he goes by and records a time of 13.64 again. He's travelling fast, this kid. Destined back for the shores of America for the off-season, but make no mistake about it, he's going to take out heat number 3 of the Tucker Marathon tonight. It's Jaymie Moyle for Golden Glory in in this heat. In second place, Calandro, the breakaway concrete cutting unit. Hodgson over the line for third, followed by Mason, Tomlinson. Farrell still handling problems for him, and the 90 car of Veal, a DNF for the 28 car. Out on centre field with problems there, but what about a pole in 17? Bunker on the outside of him, the second two rows where the firecracker could come from. Barrows off 3, March off 4, Lewis up the back there with Bill Porter and racing. Turn number 1, we've got the 27 car of Bunker, jumps into the lead very, very quickly. March in second, Barrows in third, Lewis up there in fourth place. He's followed by Cameron Porter up at the rear. Lewis getting high off the third turn, and they go past with one completed, with the leader still the 27 car with the Celtic sign on top of it. Wayne Bunker from South Australia doing it in fine style down into 3. Have a look at Barrows, the pass of the night so far. The big slide deep into turn number 3, and he's in second place, but fabulous Phil March in the Les March Daihatsu unit is going to battle it back again. So it's March back into second place. We've got a real race on our hands for the miners. It's still Bunker in the lead. He's running away so far early in the night as we see them go around the second turn. The battle for second place, car number 3. It's Phil March, Barrows back into it again. Lewis starting to make ground on these two, but nobody is going to catch the Celtics car of the 27 machine. Wayne Bunker's the guy. He's in the lead and doing it by the length of the straightaway.
And we've even got Bill Porter doing wheel stands way back in the back of the field, so he's certainly not going to give up the ghost either. I think he's no, and Celtic's car ripping round with only 3 showing up there. Les March, the dealership car, having a fair battle to catch up there, and he's not going to make that. But back in behind them, the battle's still on between this pair with Lewis going for an outside run, and Billy wheelbarrowing very close to the inside, looking for the flag, the white flag coming out now as we see just the 1 lap to go.
And we got the leader, Wayne Bunker, off the second turn. This is going to be super fast time. I'll wait and see what it is. But it's car number 27 into victory lane as he goes on by. Phil March second in car 3. Third place, Ian Lewis from Victoria in 95. Bill Barrows fourth in car 6. Behind that, Bill Porter in the 5 car. And I'd say a lap down, we have Gil Cameron, who went off pole in car number 17.
Event 11, the Super Sedan Division 2, Heat 2, coming around now, looking fine, looking fine. There's the green flag in the way, and it's Billy Miller that really gets the jump on Mother Joan. Bob Fulton, car number 8 around the outside. Trevor Nucky, the Tactiloy car, doing a bit of a barn dance there as he finds the right line, moving around in 4th. Then Lachlan Jeffries being left behind as cars move through. That's Dave Barnett coming through, and 54 there will be Max Thompson. Round they come, still with 11 to go. Billy Miller, who won the last heat for Division 2 cars, still doing it. Joan Miller gets back into second with Bob Fulton relegated right back to 4th as Trevor Nucky puts his car into 3rd, throws it a bit sideways that time. Watch out because Bob Fulton's right behind me, he says, and I know he'll be through. But Trevor Nucky had a big fire here last week, which we can talk about later on. There goes Joan Miller, a big spin right out of the race, Joan. Bad luck, you were doing well. Off the track, race continues. Joan will drop it into 1st and swing around, or will she? Meanwhile, Billy's still doing well in car number 7. Bob Fulton back up into 2nd, placing ahead of Trevor Nucky. Dave Barnett right behind the Max Thompson, then some distance back to Trevor Nucky. Lachlan Jeffries rather, 88 Robbie Stevens. Trevor Hammer right back, so too Neil Windsor and John Scotcher. Meanwhile, as we call those cars, the lead cars was through again. It's still Billy Miller in 77. Bob Fulton doing a good job there in car number 8. Both these getting away a little bit from Trevor Nucky, which is a bit unusual. Trevor's usually right up there with him. Still running well with 7 laps still on the Coca-Cola scoreboard.
Down they go with it still Billy Miller leading them through as we get a yellow light fire now. After that unfortunate incident we saw down the mountain, a lot of TV coverage. Makes you realise just how lucky the guys are here at Speedway Park.
Well, there's nothing certain. We saw the on Channel 7 as Trevor Nucky himself pulls in, obviously with some sort of a problem. But yes, you're right, Tony. It was very well and professionally done, I might add. And the only thing wrong was that the guys had to drop everything and race down the other end for another fire on Lachlan Jeffries' car, but certainly did it well. Not that I'm saying Mount Gambier didn't do it well. But
well, we could only view the television anyway, but it was a bad result, unfortunately, down there, regardless of the the situation. The guys seem to have some gear, but...
I can tell you, though, that while it finished up from 2 minutes to well over 3 minutes, it actually was only for about 1 minute 47, and they went through 10 fire extinguishers, the large ones, not the little ones that we saw them using, 10 large fire extinguishers before they finally got that fire out. Every time it was out, still smoking, vroom, up it would go again. So
yes, have to get rid of that heat and seal it down to stop it flaring up again.
Right.
As we look now for a restart of 8 laps for the Super Sedan Division 2 Heat 2. We started with 12 laps, we're back to 8 after that stoppage, with Bill Miller, Bob Fulton to lead them in.
Okay, and there's a green flag as they do come around into the main straight, going around Bob Fulton. Looks like he was trying to catch up a little bit there on Billy and hold the inside, but Billy with a little bit too much speed. And as we talk, car number 60 moving in there, that's Dave Barnett in the big Chevy, doing it well too, throwing the car sideways, trying to stay up with him, a little bit more experienced, Dave, and you'll be right there. In fact, you are right there. Bob Fulton certainly pressurising Billy Miller this time as he gets his nose up alongside down the back straight into the corner. Who will come out first as Robbie Stevens has just finished spinning down there on turn 4, but it's going to be Bob Fulton that's going to come out first and takes the lead with 6 to go. Billy Miller sitting on the outside. Watch for a mistake and he'll be in, and there's the mistake with Bob Fulton going out a bit wide, but Bob's got a little bit too much power perhaps down the back straight, comes across the corner. Billy has to shut off and Bob Fulton will hold the lead again as they come out with 5 to go. Bob Fulton, Billy Miller, car number 60, Dave Barnett, then it's Max Thompson, back to Lachlan Jeffries, handling the car a lot better now, Trevor Hammer, John Scotcher, then Joan Miller and Neil Windsor. And sorry then, car 88, Robbie Stevens coming through last. Our lead of those still Bob Fulton, car number 8, the John Pine car, still going well. Billy Miller in 77 is right up his tailpipes. He won't want to make a mistake or go too wide. Billy's just poised far enough back to take advantage of a mistake. And as I speak, there goes Dave Barnett really through the car infield, tried to straighten it up, but too much spin in the back wheels and lost it right infield there. So a little bit of flame out the exhaust as looks like he shut the motor down. Meanwhile, our leader still with 3 to go as they come around. No, it's 2 to go. Is Bob Fulton and Billy Miller in 77 right behind him, having a battle royal out there, those two. And look at the lead they've opened up now on Max Thompson, who will come in for 3rd place. But a good duel there as the checkered flag comes out now for Bob Fulton in car number 8 from 77, Bill Miller, but still a battle for 3rd placing. Could be anybody, but too close now, and Max Thompson will take it from Lachlan Jeffries in for 3rd placing. Then Don Hammer, Dave Barnett swings around back on the track to get some points. Then John Scotcher and Joan Miller. Look at the cars file past to try and get out of tail end Charlie, and as I talk about that, one of those cars was indeed Billy Miller.
Well, plenty of excitement in that event, Moyle, Super Sedans Division 2 Heat 2, especially the last 8 laps, with the cars coming in about 3 wide there for the check at that time. I'm
just wondering, is that a good position for Jim Kelly, and so too Robert Welch. Let's see how they go as they come around. There's the green flag. Mars for Lots shoots around 3 wide, right around the outside. He'll have to keep it going to get around. Does it well, Mars too, into the lead. Mars for Lots in 2:48. Good drive there, Mars, as the leads the rear of the fielders to sort themselves out as they come around. It will be Mars for Lots for the first time, but not too far behind him. Running well is 2:02.
That's Robert Welch.
Behind him, 147, is it?
142, is it?
42, that's, or was it 162, Ellis? Not sure which it is.
Certainly not Ellis. We'll pick that up this next time now. It's 142. Just having a look.
142, of course, is Jim Kelly, who started off in position 2 and doing well. 111 there, Chris Lund, keeping right in touch, looking to get through for that 3rd placing. So to 151, really got the car.
That's Ian O'Daniel.
Ian O'Daniel. Can't see this, there he is on the book. Ian O'Daniel started off in position 5, so he's having a good race as our tail end Charlie. 127, Peter Moyle goes through, keeps himself high and well out of the road as Maris Velox drives the Tirana through for Highlander Crash, doing it well as Maris. Then right behind.
Oh, and we've lost 142, Jim Kelly down there.
Trying a little too hard, methinks. He looks like he could be off the track. A puff of smoke drops her into bottom gear and he's off and running away. Meanwhile, Mars for Lots Not all that far ahead of car 202, Robert Welch. Robert Welch trying to make up ground but can't do. 151 there, and O'Daniel now got himself through to third placing. Going up high, Robert Lund will be trying to catch him. Chris Lund, sorry, as O'Daniel goes perhaps a little high there, but he's got himself going real well now. Coming around, doing it well. There's Flipper, we call him. I wonder why we call him Flipper. Twice he's flipped it over and really flipped it over this year. Ben Skew's pulling in off the field on the far side, but looks like he's found bottom gear and he's off and running to get himself into the race again. 142 going through. That would be
Jim Kelly again
Jim
after that.
Kelly, but he's been off and on the track more times and going around past him down the back straight. Marsfalot still doing it well as they come around, and it will be 3 laps to go on the Coca-Cola scoreboard.
Yeah, well, it's the Highlander car of Marisfalot, 248 who leads them through. Robert Welsh in 202. Then the next car through would be the car of 151, which is Ian O'Daniel, followed by Chris Lum in the Yellow Valiant. They seem to sort it out their problems as Jim Kelly goes infield again with a lot of wheel spin and a lot of speed. Certainly is. But Marisfalot, with 2 laps this time on the Coca-Cola scoreboard, has no way is Robert Welsh going to catch him in the 202 car. But have a look back through the field here for the minor placings. Some slower cars in front of Ian O'Daniel, manages to squeeze through. Chris Lum has to drop off a bit. He's right on his tail in car 111 as they go round the back. The checkered flag coming out for Marisfalot. Robert Welsh will take second. No, we have 1 lap still to go, and then it will be Robert Welsh in second. But have a look for those minor placings there. 151, Ian O'Daniel in the red car, Chris Lum in the yellow car, car 111 swinging in between there. We've got 278 stuck in the middle, Martin Golding. So as we get the checkered flag this time for Marisfalot, the action still back there for second, third, fourth and fifth place. Marisfalot's in the Highlander car, gets the checkered flag. Robert Welsh is 202. But have a look, Golden coming in for 3. We've got Chris Lum looking for room on the outside, and have a look at the 278 car, doesn't quite make it there, coming in for 5th place, Martin Golding. A real battle for the minor placings in the street stocks. 10 laps, heat 3, event 12 in your program.
Chaz Calandro, he's going out to warm everything up for 1 lap. Next time around, he's going to be given the green. He gets 1 to crank it up. He'll be then given a white flag, and it's on that white flag lap that he will be timed. Chaz Calandro out of Adelaide in the breakaway concrete cutting Chevrolet powered sprint car into turn 1. Let's watch him wind it up down the back straight. Takes the high line, dives it down into turn number 3, runs mid-track. Gets it very high off 4, and he's under the timer. Let's see what he can do. Working fairly hard into the corner, comes out nicely down into 3. We'll watch the line. This is going to be the do or die. Pushes a little bit going in and stands on the loud pedal, waiting for a recorded time of with bated breath. Time, Chaz. Now, hang on a minute. 13.73, outside the record, but a nice one. Put your hands together for him. Believe me. Bunker about to go under green. 1 to crank it up and 1 to go for it. 27 car racer, a guy who you could never accuse of lacking intestinal fortitude. This guy has guts if you're not understanding what I'm on about there. Because this guy doesn't know when to lift. And he's holding it flat in the first turn. The car's giving a bit of a pitch and a squeak halfway through it. But he's down into turn number 3. Around into turn 4. Get up and give him a round of applause. This is a quickie also. Buck 13.40. 13.40. We have a 1-lap record, I think. Checking. And now Wayne Bunker is the fastest man around Speedway Park. What about giving him a great big round of applause? But a car start. Katsu entry. National Speed Car Champion of 86. Stepped up into the big bangers the season later. And this bloke, my old man and car salesman through the week, an absolute animal house in a race car. But, whoa, Marchie. Now, he'll have to tidy up this lap. Off the second turn, Phil March. Fabulous Phil into 3, the car pushes, runs it up high. Let's see what the time is. He's got to beat the lap. And waiting for that all-important board, 13.88, 13.88. Knows how to punt a sprinter hard. even in the short period of time he's put in so far. From Murray Bridge here in SA. And a nice little line. Maybe not quite tall enough in the straights, but we're about to find out. The moment of truth for Graham Mason. He is under the time lap.
Very tidy run for Mason in the seventh car as he goes down out of turn 2 and down the back straight. Gets it all together. A very tidy looking run. Gets it up high. Hangs it back out. He'll lose just a little bit there as he goes on that time. Graham Mason, 14.04. 14.
Won a lot of sedan races. Come up into sprint cars in the last few years, in his second season of racing, taking out the state title. So he's under his crank up lap, hiking a wheel out of 2. Maybe the car a little bit tight. We'll just watch him here, but he looks nice and tidy around the 3-4. And it's Ian Lewis from Diggers Rest in Victoria, sponsored by Adplex in car number 95. A bit loose off 2. We'll watch him into 3. Hurls it in there. Holds it down. It could be the fast line. And it's decision. He's got to beat 13.40. Wayne Bunker. Mike Shide's going to give us the finishing order. 13.90, although not the quickest. Jaymie Moyle, current state champion. Destined for the US of A. Leaving on the 24th of this month. And going to do a whole bunch of racing around the Midwest, especially around Ohio, Iowa and Missouri. And of course a second year drive with the Todd's Custom Speed and Machinery car. And now let's see what the state champ can do. Can he better the time of 13.40 for Wayne Bunker? He goes around into turn number 1. Looks nice and smooth off the second turn. Down into 3. Very low on the circuit. Looks pretty fine. It could be a quickie.
Past the ones that was a very tidy run.
I'd call that a Graham McCubbin lap. 13.66.
So that's...
Yes, all your attention for one moment and putting your hands together. Wave your caps and programs to car 27. Wayne Bunker not only taking out fast time, but a new lap record of 13.40 here for Speedway Park. Come on, really give him a great big ovation. Righto, Shotty, give us the rundown.
27 starting from 1 as they come round. We have a yellow for event 14.
Event 14 street stops heat 2. There's the green flag, and already Kim Cochran in 163 jumping into that lead from 127. That's David Hazeldine, and a very nicely turned out car too as the moon rises over the far side. And there's 2 cars jammed together over there into the fence. I can see
one of those is 203, which is John Flynn on this side. I can't quite. Maxine's hot potato there.
Oh yeah, what a lovely girl she is. And if you're looking for a real lovely meal, you should over to Maxine and tell them we sent you. Great girl she is. We gave away a 5 litre of engine coolant, compliments of Tectile.
We get daylight saving on Saturday or Sunday, early Sunday morning as we come in for event 14.
There's the green light, away they go. 127 getting left behind once again as Kim Cottrell goes around the outside, doing it well in 163. Opens up a lead at 147. Brian Donegan's got through as well, following Rick Skew's doing a bit of tractor ploughing on the infield there to hold down his position 4 as he comes up on the inside, trying to move up to 3. Our race leader at the moment, 163 Kim Cottrell, 147 Brian Donegan, pushing him all the way though. Those 2 cars have opened up now from Rick Skew's in
Rick Skew's at 300.
300
and then 240 is Paul Keane in the blue and white car.
There's David Coupleditch car. 127 is the guy I'm trying to
David Hazeldine.
David Hazeldine getting swamped now with the cars as the next car comes through on him. That's 154, and that should be Leanne Weller.
Yep, that's
and
right.
It certainly is. So Hazeldine getting swamped a bit there from his position, pole position on the race. Meanwhile, we go back to Kim Cottrell in 163, really being pressured by Brian Donegan as Donegan looks for a run on the outside once more. High up on the fence looking for bite perhaps, or was he forced to go that way because he couldn't get underneath Cottrell? Seems to have a bit more power, Tony, as he goes around the outside, but Cottrell with that inside running certainly got the power down the straight. Watch them as they come around the corner this time. Around once more to the start-finish line with 6 laps on the Coca-Cola scoreboard still to go.
Well, it's Cottrell to lead them in, the white and the yellow car, but have a look at that car, 147, Brian Donegan. He's doing heaps more kilometres around the outside, dropping back a little bit now. Rick Scoos in the 300 car in for third. In fourth, it's Paul Keane. He started out of 8. He's made up good ground. Leanne Weller is next. But that allows Donegan to come through on the inside. 147, Brian Donegan stopped the running, goes into the lead from Cottrell. Skew still holding down 3, but Cottrell got crossed up, hit a bump, coming out of turn, and Donegan up high now, and that allows the car of Cottrell's to come back. The active auto action's got a bad dent on the front there, but it's not stopping him. Donegan round the outside, Cottrell gets crossed up yet once again into the same place. Donegan's going around.
He's bouncing and losing control on the front steering, that's what it looks like. But Donegan's in the same position again. He's up high, he's holding down a bit lower this time. Cottrell tries to come up but loses again, goes up high, and this allows Donegan to get through into the lead. Still with 3 laps left to go, can Donegan hold it? Or would he go high again, make the mistake, allowing Cottrell through? Cottrell got through turn 2 better that time, not Will bouncing the front of the car, of course, with the suspension the way it is on the stock standard cars. But watch again as again Donegan goes high, allowing Cottrell to try and catch up, but Kim missed it a bit that time as he got caught in the wheel rut of the gutter, slowed him down again. But Scoos is still holding back that third position in car 300, and car 240 pushing him again, and a little bit of a do-si-do down here is 127 our pole man, 177 David Hazeldine. Got caught up in a bit of a problem there. Meanwhile, our leader goes through. It's 147 Brian Donegan. The white flag is out, signifying 1 to go. Leanne Weller also well down now. Not sure what happened to her. Cottrell and Donegan going down into turn 3 and around into turn 4, coming down for the checkered flag. It is Brian Donegan. And a good race there, Brian Donegan, from Kim Cottrell, who was leading but Will bounced himself out of it. 240 will be through. That's Paul Keane for third placing, and Rick Scoos in 300 through for the 4th placing. Good racing there, and exciting racing too by the street stocks in the Heat 2 event number 14.
Out of the pace car, come on, wave your caps, wave your programs, or just plain put your hands together. Where's the Moyle fans? What about Vanka? Marchie's out there as well. Come on, really, give them a rev up. They're going to do it. 25 laps to go. This is your last chance. What about on the stands round the turn? Come on, you can do better than that. Get up off your seats and give them a bit of encouragement. Now the back straight. They're pretty mean in the main straight here. Come on, do better than that. Wave those hands.
And you better do it quickly, because down, jumping and dancing on the line, starter is holding that green flag down, the yellow flag up, and we had a bump back in the field.
One Players C champion and leading on the point score at the moment with 1 round to go for that. Off a time of 5:29.2. Is it going to go down tonight? Not so far, because there's still 25 on the Coca-Cola. Lap scoreboard slow. Slow what for? Slow because we want to have another look at you and make sure you're all right. Okay, that's what the guys are doing. They're showing up the slow sign out there. That doesn't mean they're going to run the race slow. Don't get all excited, folks.
No, not permitted, not permitted. Basically, they're checking that there was no damage to the cars who were involved in a little melee.
The pack, there's no doubt about that, because March and Mason, the 2Ms going for on the first turn.
Car 7, what's the start on him? Have they allowed this? No, too far jump.
Over Gil Cameron.
Gil Cameron it is. I was going to say that he was making a little bit of a warming dash down the back earlier on.
We have a red light situation. Red light situation on turn number 4.
He's already out of the car very quickly.
Oh, Gil would not be a happy person. Thank God he's okay. That's the first point. Out the car, ladies and gentlemen, Gil Cameron, he is okay. Over Gil Cameron.
Gil Cameron it is. I was going to say that he was making a little bit of a warming dash down the back.
Given the exit of the 17 car of Gil Cameron, calling Graham Mason up there, so it's Mason and March off 1 and 2. Lewis and Moyle of the second row, the third row made up of Bunker and Calandro, the fourth row behind that of Barrows and Hodson, behind that is Porter and Cobby, the second back row made up of Tomlinsonville, and at rear, last but not least, Dave Farrell in car 16. We've got 25 up on the Coca-Cola scoreboard, racing in the Tucker Marathon for 1990, and into turn number 1. Car number 3, Phil March, leads them out of the pack into the back straight. And have a look at Jaymie Moyle. He's jumped into second place. We've got somebody
too wide against the fence. Hodgson's car over.
And a second roll without a lap being completed, or are they going to call it? The leader has gone through.
Well, I saw him. What happened there? He
Spanners the difference between victory and vanquished.
Yes, as they say, the best way to do it up is to turn it full onto its strips and back it off a little bit, but that's not all.
That means they can change wheels, they can change wings. Now, if you take a bit of note of what's going on down here, we're having a bit of that go on right at the moment. Wayne Bunker is taking on some extra fuel. We have got a wheel change going down here on Mason's car, Mike.
Yes, and not only the wheel change, but they were looking at...
And the compounds, and it gets technical, and the torsion bars. We've got cross flags. We have got everybody lining up, hopefully, with the exception of Chaz Calandro. He's got to fit in there somewhere.
Chaz looking to try and get back into his...
Row number 3.
Into his spot, yes.
Right beside Wayne Bunker. Again, we're going to have this dash to the wire now.
Number 6 it was for Chaz.
We have a little indication given to us at this stage in time. And that little indication is that, in fact, March might be the bolter. We're going to watch. We've got 25 up and 12 cars to decide the winner of the 1990 Tucker Marathon. Into turn number 1. It's Mason this time that gets the jump. Maybe they spelled it right as they go to the third turn. Graham Mason's there in trouble at the back of the pack. Tom Tomlinson, but he gets the thing pointing the right way and rejoins the race. 1/2 a lap down, would you believe? But back in the race, we've got 24 remaining. Have a look at Jaymie Moyle coming on strong under Phil March, and we're going to have a race to the wire with this one. It's a pearler. The last major sprint car event at Speedway Park for 1990, the Tucker Marathon, is one worth its dollars as they go into 3. It's still Mason, March in second, Moyle in third, followed by Lewis, Bunker, Bill Barrows, Calandro, Cobby's behind that, followed by Bill, Farrell, Porter and Tom Tomlinson, who had that altercation on the first lap.
And also I noticed that Billy Porter once again is doing leapfrog as he particularly goes down the back there. But back up to the front there, we have Mason. Mason holding a good lead with a counter on 21 to go. But as the race goes a little bit tired, we have Bill Barrows pulling the infield with 20 laps still to run. Bill Barrows infield, bad luck for the southeast entrant. But good luck here for the Riverland boy in car number 7, Mason, holding at that same distance ahead as he was for the last few laps. But Marchie's a man who's run the distance many times. Jaymie Moyle, South Australian champion, the guy about to take the big trip across the USA once again. These guys 1, 2 and 3, and they're a very close 1, 2 and 3 as well as we go back looking to Lewis, who's sitting back now. The telltale bad smoke from car number 3. Marchie's race has run with only 18 laps to go. Bad luck for him. And as he pulls that Kent Town car into the centre, his race has run. We look now to the first 2. We have Mason still holding a very good speed out in front, and he hasn't lost any of that lead, which he's now presently holding over the second car of Jaymie Moyle. A big gap now to the challenge coming through as Bunker looks for an inside run on Lewis. Hasn't got it just yet, but
going together.
Lewis at a half spin and nearly took Bunker down. This has dropped the posse back to the bunker, allowing another car to come through, and it looks as it is Chaz Calandro in the breakaway concrete car 33 as tear-offs are flying into the breeze in. We have 15 laps to go, and they're starting to throw a little bit of dust with 14 laps now to go.
Race leader car number 7 from Murray Bridge, Graham Mason off the second turn, and here's where it's all at. Jaymie Moyle blowing smoke. We'll keep an eye on him as he comes around, but the race is for third place at the moment. Ian Lewis in the 95 car from Victoria is holding that position, but asking the big question is Chaz Calandro. They wheel bang off turn number 4. Lewis holding that position. We have got Calandro still in 4th position, and behind him Wayne Bunker and Jaymie Cobby in hot pursuit. The leader off the second turn, it's still Mason, and Moyle seems to be dropping back a little bit. What's this smoke again? I just see whispers it going in the turn. It may be just a bit of an engine surge, I'm not sure.
Well, there's a possibility he might even be tyres because it is hitting just on the corner. It hits him and a big blow smoke this time from Lewis, but it hasn't settled down or not.
We've got to remember too, Lewis was having a rocker cover gasket problem with oil spewing over the headers, and it's coming from the same spot.
Inside left, yes, and it is that again. So provided he's aware of just that, and he still has to watch he doesn't lose any sufficient degree. And there's an almighty big lose of the oil, I'd say, his gallons are down.
Well, Lewis is going to have 2 times problems here. Can he maintain enough oil pressure in the car to continue, or is it just going to look bad? But the other moment of truth is coming up here for Graham Mason, because he is just going under Tom Tomlinson, who's very, very loose off turn number 4. He comes around the outside of Veal, who appears to be retiring on the infield, and of course now it's Tomlinson.
His wing falling down in front of his face.
No, our little bonnet has come off. That's what's happened. And we've got more drama unlocking. Tomlinson trying to keep it there. The car's all wrong, and Tommy Tomlinson calls it a day in the Pizza Hut number 10 car as the race leader goes by with 6 remaining. Lewis desperate to hang on there. He's losing time. We've got Calandro up the 3rd, and Lewis retires. Lewis in the 95 car.
6 to go, and he's spewed oil all over the place now. Of course, the wheels have to go towards that. The fire is coming out from his car. Small for wheels.
Yeah, an oil fire there. I don't think it's a serious problem, but Lewis is not hanging around to find out. Rotten luck for the 95 car. Of course, several of them are going to be going to Bendigo tomorrow night, so there's going to be some engine changes as we see the race leader off turn number 2, car number 7, Graham Mason. Now has the state champion Jaymie Moyle paced himself? Will he now put the pressure on this guy? There's 3 remaining. Traffic in front of the race leader. Bill Porter's in front of Mason as they go off the 2nd turn. They're down into number 3.
Number 3 it is with 3 laps to go, and it's showing the passing flag. A little bit of traffic coming up now. This will make a big difference here. Mason holding it outside. The 2 cars are locked together. Mason comes out the one in front there. Jaymie Moyle having to drop back just a little tad, but he's going to try it one more time. 2 laps. No, now it's 1 lap to go. The white flag showing as Mason holds that small gap. It's only a half a car lead. The other 2 cars still in front of them, blocking them off, but they're not going to make that much distance on them. So it's the last corner. The last corner, Mason from Murray Bridge holds over to become the champion this evening for Tucker the Forest Sprintcar Marathon, 25 laps, and a game challenge to our young bloke who's heading off to the USA very, very soon in Moyle. And as we see the cars going back over the line there, car 55 and Porter nearly lose it through. A big hand there, folks. What a great win. And just in time as car 55 does a big blow, having gone over the line.
And let me tell you that this would be Graham Mason's first major sprint car win, and what a nice one to take it out with. Come down to the fence and give him a great big round of applause as he comes around. Come on in the main straight as he comes off turn number 4. Graham Mason from Murray Bridge. First major sprint car win, and he's done it in fine style, taking up the 1990 Tucker Marathon. Put your hands together, come on, get up off your seats and give him a great big round of applause. He's even too tired to do a victory lap here. He's just shut it down in bewilderment. I think we've got it here, placing's official. Car number 7 from Murray Bridge first, Graham Mason. State champion, Jaymie Moyle in 69 in 2nd, and Chaz Calandro. A nice drive into 3rd place in the double 3 car.
And we have a time there of 5:51.8. Just keeping an eye down there on Lewis's car, 95. Still a little bit of a flicker of flame down there. Might just pay to check that one. Hate to see him lose the car after all that. But repeating our placings. In first position, we had car number 7. And that's Graham Mason from Murray Bridge. In 2nd place, we had car 69 from Adelaide, Jaymie Moyle. And in 3rd place, also from Adelaide, car 33, Chaz Calandro, the young battler who's gone from sprint cars and speed cars backwards and forwards, always making an impression. That time, once again, 5 minutes 51.8. Congratulations, Peter Tucker, Tucker the Florist, for putting on an excellent race.
Well, it almost was a sprint car marathon with a couple of false starts to start with, a false start, and then Hodson rolling over in his usual end down there, 3 and 4. But what a great race by Mace to take the lead all the way through. Jaymie Moyle looked like with 10 laps to go, maybe he'd given up with only those few laps to go, and he was just so far behind. And as one of you said, and take it through for a checkered flag. A great win there to Graham Mason. He's won a feature or two here, but it's his first major sprint car title. And Mace, if you can hear me up here, congratulations, mate. It was a great race, and you can see he's tired. He can hardly shake hands.
Very tired, but also very pleased about it too.
Yes, he'll be jumping over the moon, which has risen up quite sharply.
It was a beautiful moon as it started to come up before too. But congratulations also to Wayne Bunker from Bunker's Transports. Wayne coming in there in 4th spot. So we'll be having a presentation.
The time for the gold and the glory here tonight. But before we go to do that, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the manager of Speedway Park, Mr. Ken Argent.
Thanks very much, Ian. And firstly, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank Ian for coming over tonight as a special guest commentator. I think he's done a wonderful job. Also, it's my pleasant duty to thank Peter Tucker, through Tucker the Florist, for once again putting on a tremendous marathon. Tucker the Florist have not only sponsored Speedway since the old Rolly Park days, they were also heavily involved with sponsorship of harness racing and have done a wonderful job. And without sponsors, we wouldn't have a Speedway. So a personal thank you to Peter. He's also provided the garlands which have been presented week after week here at Speedway Park. He doesn't ask for thanks. He's one of those guys who just does things. And I'm very appreciative that Speedway's still got some of those people around. Without any further ado, I'd like to hand the microphone back to Ian. But just before I do that, we do have another tremendous meeting next week. We've got a double header with the speed cars and the fireworks. So come along and see that, and then the demolition derby for the last one for the year. But it's Tucker the Forest Marathon tonight, and it's back to Ian.
Thanks, Ken, very much. And ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. Peter Tucker's just coming up to join us now. And without further ado, let's start back in 4th place. 4th place in the 1990 Tucker's Marathon. Would you please put your hands together for car number 33, Chaz Calandro.
Sorry, Ian, 4th, 27, Wayne Bunker.
Sorry, I apologise. We're getting wrong information. Why, how embarrassing. Come back up for a minute, Chaz, and come up Wayne Bunker, our 4th place, and Chaz Calandro, our 3rd, because I've got a question to ask both of you. Now listen, we started off, we had 25 goes at the actual start. The pair of us were out there was all sorts of wheel banging. Did you think you'd make it, you first, Chaz, around that first turn?
First corner was a bit hard. I just kept on saying to myself, well, you're this far now, you got to go all the way, just keep thinking. So I did, and we just got through it.
Wayne, it was pretty torrid. You got a few wheel bangs out there as well.
Yeah, I guess they're all there to be hit, but the guys did not do the wrong thing in the cockpit. And yeah, no, we got there and survived a bit of a touch-up and a dust up the infield and let Chaz by, but he earned it. And thanks for the rest of you guys. Hope you had a good night. And same to you, everybody, and I hope to all see you back here next year.
Please take with our compliments of Tucker the Florist for the marathon, 4th position tonight, and of course the start of a big racing weekend.
And just another thing I'd like to say, thanks to all my guys, my crew, that work tirelessly, week in, week out, and my lovely lady that puts up with me not coming home. And I'd really like to thank Caldex for putting up with us too. We haven't done a lot this year. It's been a bit of a downer, and tonight sort of come along pretty good. And that's about all I've got to say. Thank you very much, everybody.
Wayne Bunker, ladies and gentlemen. Car number 27 in 4th position as we invite our 3rd place getter, Chaz Calandro, to rejoin us. The Cutaway Concrete unit. Gee, you did well.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, actually I was...
Thanks, Peter Tucker, for putting this on too.
Of course. Sorry, Chaz, where were we?
Oh, okay. Well, I want to thank Peter as well. I think he's put on a good show tonight, well, the whole club has. Thanks to Peter Tuck, because he just does it every year and it's always a good show. And somehow I seem to get up here on Tuck's show. Last time was 4th. So thanks. First of all...
Hang on. Does that mean next year it's 2nd?
I hope so, yeah. We'll keep trying. Well, actually, we're not going to probably keep sprint car racing. We're going to give it up for a season or so and just see what happens with a midget. We're going to worry about driving the midget for next year. And the car's up for sale. It's a good car if anybody does want it. It goes complete like it is. So if you want a good sprint car, come and see me afterwards. But anyway, first of all, I'd like to thank all my sponsors. They've been terrific. Breakaway Concrete Cutting, they've supported me. We've had a pretty bad season really up to now. It's just starting to come good now. Also Adjip Motor Oils, they produce a real good oil. So if you want Adjip, go down and see any Adjip outlet. Besco Batteries, putting in some money as well. They make a good fine battery. Yeah, there's one more sponsor, I can't think of them. Oh, Federal Mogul, of course, they're on the side. Thanks to Federal Mogul as well. And of course, the guy that builds the engines, Peter Michaels, he's got a car coming 4th and 3rd, and they just keep going year after year, and they just, he's a top engine builder. He's just the best. Other than that, the crew, God, what can we say about the crews? They work harder than what people really think they do. They work day and night on the car, so I'd like to thank my crew. I could go all night, but I better not. See ya.
Third place getter receiving his trophy and the garland, of course. Hands together for Chaz Calandro, 3rd in the 1990 Tucker Marathon. And now the man who's about to depart us for a few months to go over the USA and certainly represent Australia proud. 2nd place tonight in the Tucker Marathon, Jaymie Moyle. Well done. That was a bit of a battle, wasn't it?
Yeah, it definitely was. It was a really good race. Mace got away from me at the start, and he was going, the first couple of restarts, we got him on the outside, and I thought, this is looking pretty good. And then the 3rd restart, he got away and got in front of Marchie, and then I guess something happened to Marchie, and he was about 4 or 5 car lengths in front of me, and he was going like a beauty. And I guess about 5 laps from home, he started slowing down a little bit, and I thought, maybe he's tiring, or maybe his tyre's going off, and I'm hoping and praying and stuff like this, but I sort of give him bit of a rundown going into turn 1 and 2, but he held a good line and drove a really good race.
Please accept this trophy and the garland, and from all of us, we wish you well for your coming season in America.
Yeah, it should be good. Also, I'd like to thank Tucker the Florist for putting on this deal. It usually comes up to be a really good race, and we were a little bit down on cars, but the racing was real good. And I've definitely got to thank my sponsors who've been with me all year. If we didn't have them, we wouldn't be racing. Tech Deloy, Castrol, Dulux, Les Williams Used Trucks, Moyle, Highlander Crash, and John Moore Motor Engineering for building me a nice engine. And I'd like to thank my crew because they do a top job. They want to come to the races and they want to win, but May's held me off, so I guess we'll have to settle for 2nd.
Jaymie Moyle 2nd in the Tucker Marathon, really laid together for him. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce the winner of the 1990 Tucker Marathon, his first major sprint car win. Ladies and gentlemen, Murray Bridges, Graham Mason. Well, congratulations. They say it's easy to do it off the front, but I don't believe that's true. With a great express train jammed right up your backside all the way down, you had to do that for 25 laps. In fact, I think you had to do it for about 35.
75, I think it was, wasn't it?
Graham, it is great. Congratulations with all. We've seen you come up here through the stock rods, and you thrilled us with many great victories in that. And now you've taken on sprint car racing, which is no mean feat. And tonight, it's all come good for you.
Yes, I think we've broken the drought. We've had 2.5 years of pretty hectic racing and crashed a lot of cars and been a lot of dramas, but the crew stuck with me all the way through, and well, tonight's the result of it, and all our sponsors stuck with us, so we didn't think it was going to be easy, and it wasn't.
Please take this trophy for first place, and a shake of the hand from Peter Tucker, the garland that goes with it. And I think we'll ask our driver to get into the truck and just start warming it up, as you'd like to thank your sponsors.
Yeah, I'd like to thank my sponsors, and also Johnny Moyle. We wouldn't be here tonight racing tonight. We did a power steering pump in, and he lent us a pump, and that sort of thing really makes racing worthwhile. Thank you very much.
Graham, along with Jamie Cobby, Wayne Bunker, Chaz Calandro, please go and enjoy a lap of... You've got a message for us?
No.
That's all right. Jaymie Moyle, did I say Jamie Cobby? I'm sorry. Jaymie, we've got all our Jamies happening. It must be excitement on the first night back in Adelaide. And of course, Jaymie Moyle off to the States in 1 week's time. We wish him well. But of course, the night belongs to Murray Bridge and Graham Mason. So please come down to the fence and give them a great big round of applause. Thanks, Mel.
Thank you very much, Ian, and congratulations to those guys once more. Maybe Jaymie Moyle, when you thought he wanted to speak, might have wanted his power steering box back from Mason. However, they are the champions. Did we recall Cottrell out?
No, we certainly didn't.
Cottrell and Scott, and already the green flag is down for the removal rubbish super sedan feature. Watch them, there's a great lineup of cars. Comes flying down the straight into turn 1 out of 2 down the back straight. And in the lead, car 4, Don Hammer at this stage. Right behind him is Joe Miller. And then Barnett doing a little Mexican hat dance across the track as Trevor Nucky, the Tectaloid car, moves through into third. Then it's Neil Windsor behind them, Robbie Stevens. Lachlan Jeffries on the outside in the Oryx. He right up to the wall, points it infield, causes a bit of a kerfuffle there as the cars back off, and one gets caught up, and that's, who's that? Was that Reuter?
Yeah, Reuter, yeah.
Gary Reuter got caught up. So too Chris Blunden as Lachlan Jeffries went right up to the wall, stuck the nose down, trying to get away. Picked the fast-moving cars up from the rear, and as you can see, both Blunden in car 42 and Reuter in car number SA1
he was gone, so starts
okay, a restart for the Super Sedan feature. The removal rubbish Super Sedan feature, and they're off and running, and the cars lined up in Indian file right down the main straight. Still coming as they're already going down the back straight. Don Hammer already holding the lead, but he's being hard pushed by Trevor Nucky in car number 10, the Tectaloid car. Joe Miller also being pressured by Barnett in 60. Then Neil Windsor, Stevens, Jeffries, Caruso, and the big guys come burning their way through down the main track. They'll be sitting, waiting, looking, and John Scotcher doing a barn dance. Can he keep off the track at this stage? He's off the track, starting the car up, Don, and stick it in field. Everything's looking good at the moment. We'll see some officials running over soon. He's got the car mobile, he's okay. Back of the car looks down. Has he got a flat tyre? No, they're signalling off and running. Away you go, John. You'll be okay. But hurry up, because here comes the big guys.
Over the back.
Down the back. Peter Drew piggybacking
at the Coca-Cola car.
London. Real piggyback over there. Another 3 cars on the infield there. That's Bob Fulton in with Stuart. Not Stuart Miller, is it? I can see a pink car.
Yeah, that's number 6, that's Stephen Miller.
No, it's 77, Billy Miller.
Where are we? Stephen facing underway behind the central towing car. I think it's Billy Miller in the middle, isn't it, between Fulton and, is it the Highlander car of Thompson's?
There is cars everywhere. Yes, there's Bill facing right out on the track. Looking at the one infield, yes, it would be Max Thompson, the yellow car facing. I just finished saying that the fast guys at the rear are really in a gaggle, and they're really going to have to move to get through. And all of a sudden, one car gets out of shape, and that's the result.
Well, they're doing a check on the 70 car.
Watch them as they look ready for a start, and there's the restart of the removal rubbish Super Sedan feature, and Donna Hammer once more will lead them out. Hotly pursued by Trevor Nucky in the Commodore car number 10 for Tectaloid. Then it's Joan Miller. Rocky Cruiser moving through as Dave Barnett again gets caught up the fence and comes down infield, cause a great...
lost the wheel. Lost the wheel.
Great gaggle of cars going this way and that way and every way, trying to get out the road as the wheel...
Far side of the...
I thought he's been driving long enough not to...
to cut down in front of the
Stewart's given up chasing the wheel. They'll let it stay there, and the Clark, of course, will probably pick it up as it comes down infield. No, it's decided to go up the return track, so watch out for Kim Cottrell's car there. And finally, is that Graham Mason, is it? Super Sedan feature with 17 laps left to go. Moving up now, there's the green light, and they're off and running once more. Donna Hammer to lead them out. Right behind him, Trevor Nuck in the Tectaloid car, then Joan Miller, Rocky Caruso, Neil Windsor, Lachlan Jeffries. Who's that moving around the outside?
Robbie Margin,
87, making a bit of a move. So too John Hughes around the outside of the Miller and Fulton combination. There's Stevie Stewart right there, then Miller, then Peter Drew with bodywork flapping all over the place. Gary Reuter right behind him with a very dented front mudguard as well, and Kim Cottrell bringing up the rear of the field. Round the back straight and into turn 3 and out of field as Max Thompson pulls in field at 94. It's still Donna Hammer and Trevor Nucky. Caruso moves up into third, placing now. A great gaggle of cars here as Stephen Miller with bodywork splashing everywhere gets caught up a little bit there with Steve Stewart.
And
Stephen spins
gone right round. And another one over the back. Four cars involved everywhere.
Who is that?
One of the cars we got.
Stewart, Drew again, Reuter, and Bob Fulton. And the back there looks like he's okay. 77, Billy Miller, he's okay. but Stephen Miller certainly got into the wars down the main straight here and finished up out of the road. Have a look at his car, there's nothing left on the back of it, and bodywork went everywhere and cars ran over it. And then as I was watching the trail of that little misdemeanor, lo and behold, the cars over the far side got locked up together and really got put out rerun. Here we go, the green flag. This time Nucky looking for an outside run on Donga Hammer, and he's going to get it too. A very good move there, Trevor Nucky, but still 15 laps to go. Donga Hammer in second, Caruso, then Marchant, who got up well out of all that trouble. Joan Miller, there's Billy Miller moving through, then still it's Harvey Wallbanger and John Hughes and the Pantera looking for a way underneath. Then Stephen Miller, Stephen Stewart, then Jeffries, Fulton and Cottrell, that order as they come around. Sorry, John Scotcher and the Moyle Scotcher Tirana. Watch our race lead as he comes down now with 13 laps on the Coca-Cola scoreboard. It's Trevor Nucky in the Tectoroy car. Can he win himself another feature here with only a couple to go? Robbie Caruso right behind him in car number 11. He's doing it well. There's Robbie Marchant moving up on the inside of Trevor Nucky. Nice move down the back straight to move himself into third. We've got 3 pink cars in a row then. We've got Donga Hammer, Joan Miller and Billy Miller. Then John Hughes, Stevie Stewart moved up well. There's Stephen Miller in the 6 car. Kim Cottrell doing a barn dance down here on turn 4, and he comes back onto the track to be tail end Charlie. Still, Trevor Nucky moves through and coming through with 11 laps to go. It's Trevor Nucky leading the removal rubber super sedan feature.
Well, Nucky in the Tectoroy car is opening the gap a little bit. Rocky Caruso holding down in a second. And then we go back to Stephen Miller. Robbie Marchant, probably about the best position we've seen him for quite a while, up into the 4th. Then back to the Donga Hammer. But have a look at Rocky Caruso starting to make up ground on Nucky. Nucky gets the tail out. Caruso closes that gap. Round they go into turn 3. Nucky in the number 10 car.
Look at the battle back there with the pink cars. It's Stewart.
Certainly a battle back to the minor placings, but Rocky Caruso now starting to put the pressure on. And we got Joan Miller and the Scotcher car of John Hughes out there. Joan Miller with just a couple of wheels over the edge. We get the yellow.
Well, Joan's right on the edge. She got caught up, I think, with Stevie Stewart. I'm not real sure about that. She tried hard to hold it, but spun the car around. Hughes came around right at the end and just clipped the front bumper bar, but he was okay. And Joan frantically trying to start that car. Stevie Stewart was given a funny sign there, and I see the clerk of course with a rough flag there, but Joan's okay and running. She'll be pretty wild, I'll tell you. Going to be a hot time, and the old Tony told you still on the Coca-Cola scoreboard. And watch them as they come around. Trevor Nucky leading them, the yellow lights flashing, the green light is on and they're away. Trevor Nucky, Robbie Caruso right there. Robbie Marchant will do a lot better this time. Nucky will really have to get that car mobile to get away from those two, and he seems to be doing it this stage as the 3 of them move away a little bit from Donga Hammer down the back straight. Billy Miller, then Stephen Stewart, good Joan Miller, John Hughes on the inside, Bob Fulton trailing them, then Cottrell coming through on Lachlan Jeffries, Neil Windsor and the Scotcher car coming through last of all. Back to our race leader, Trevor Nucky. Puts a wheel up on the edge of the track on the concrete strip there, puts the car up but managed to hold it well, keeps it going down and still holding the lead from car 11, Rocky Caruso, Robbie Marchant. Car starting to form up around Donga Hammer now as Hughes goes around the outside. Billy Miller just sitting there waiting for a run on the inside if he can get it to Steve Stewart, also looking for a run around the outside, which is the only way he's going to get past at this moment. But car 69, John Hughes now moving up into 4th place as Billy Miller tries to come through on the inside of Donga Hammer. Stevie Stewart on the outside. Neither of them can do it as Donga Hammer still holds the lead. I'm sorry he doesn't as Stewart goes around the outside. 6 to go. It's still Trevor Nucky in the Tectoroy car.
Nucky to lead them through. Bob Caruso, Marchant and Hughes made up a lot of ground. He's got Stevie Stewart in the 47 car, the Lubor car right on his nut. Marchant slowed for just momentarily on the back straight. I thought he was in trouble there, but he's picked up again. Caruso really sliding the car around in an effort to catch the flying Tectoroy car of Nucky. Robbie Marchant still holding down 3rd, but have a look. We've got 4 laps this time around. And have a look at Hughes, Stewart and Billy Miller. They've made up a lot of ground on these other cars there as they're coming out of turn 4. That's where all the action is at the present moment. Back up the front, it's still Nucky leading them through. Rocky Caruso looking for room, grabs a little bit and then loses it down the straight. But have a look at the battle for the minor placings. Further back through the field, Stevie Stewart gets sideways. That's allowed Miller to make a little bit of ground. But it's still Caruso and Nucky having the dice.
Okay, and certainly the dice they're having a look. There going Stevie Stewart, gets the car crossed up and sideways and through onto the infield. That puts him out, he's off the track. The race still keeps running, and it's still Trevor Nucky as he comes around. Stevie Stewart looking for a run through, didn't see the traffic enough, pulls the car out the infield and pulls it up. And oh, that's a shame that happened, because he should have seen the traffic come and pulled out onto the thing, and
looks like we're going to declare.
The flag has come out and race will be declared, so our winner should be Trevor Nucky in car 10. Car 11 through for second placing, that's
Rocky
Caruso. 87 Robbie Marchant should get third, and car 69 should be in for fourth placing. So checkered flag out, race has been declared, and that's our meeting for last night and this morning.